Welcome back to Sam. So forgive me today because I'm trying something about my video, but I think it's gonna help a lot because the information that I'm gonna be taking out is really important. So I'm talking about purpose today, and this is gonna be one of the most weird comment, but it's really important. AKA RIP, by the way, we lost a legend here. AKA dropped an album 2 weeks after his death. People are confused. What does that even mean? I'm talking about a mega artist, somebody who has done it in the game, who passed away sadly after that painful, tragic. He had prepared something and it dropped 2 weeks after his death. And I'm 100% sure that the success of that project is going to help his family and all the people that are around the world to actually achieve something. The reason why I'm mentioning this is because one thing that people have to understand is this. We lose ourselves every single time. We feel like we have no purpose. We feel like sometimes we are just living and there's no direction in life. And I get that. It feels like that 90% of the time that you feel like, oh my God, I'm just trying this thing, but I just don't see the purpose. Which is true. It happens 90% of the time in life. But one thing that I want people to understand is this. In this world, if you are still alive, if you are breathing, if there's still air getting into your lungs and going out, if God is still making sure that you wake up every single day, there must be a reason. And it's up to you to find it. And it's up to you to take advantage of that reason and produce something meaningful with your life. I just gave you an example in the beginning of the video of a man who is no longer there, who is no longer has a purpose, who dropped an album 2 weeks after his death. And that album is still showing his purpose and what he has left out for the world to keep enjoying, at the same time still providing food in the table of his family. You know, people take this really for granted when people don't understand the importance of purpose and you actually working so hard to get it. I went through a certain experience just 2 weeks back, which I think has now given me more energy to keep producing more, which I'm going to explain to you people. 2 weeks, I think a week back, I was passing through a graveyard. Yeah, when I was passing through the graveyard, it was in the evening, by the way, in the evening, like really in the evening. I think it was around 10 o'clock. I wasn't walking, I was in a car, but I was passing through there, and it was around 10 o'clock in the evening. And one of the things I discovered was, man, the movies lie to us, because the movies make it look like there is something haunted in that place where we should be afraid and we should be moving away and stuff like that. But to my surprise, that was not the feeling I got. We were quiet in the car. There was nothing that was happening. It was just us moving. And this was the surprising, because the car we use is so quiet when it's moving, you can't even hear the sound. But that's the problem. I heard nothing. Like, it was so quiet to a point that I think my breath, because people used to think I have asthma, but I don't. My heavy breath, the way I breathe, was the only thing that was making a sound that my ears could capture at that moment. And I said to myself, what? So this is how it feels when you're no longer in this world. This is how it feels when you're passing through a graveyard where there was a living person with dreams who went out maybe without even succeeding with their dreams. This is how it feels when you are no more, that it just goes quiet and it remains quiet for you. The whole world around you might be so noisy in the afternoon, but around you it's quiet. There's nothing, there's not even any sound, unless maybe a night bird just passes by. But rather than that, there's nothing. Quietness. And I started to wonder to myself, I have so many thoughts in my brain. I think of a lot of things. I get these visions. I talk about a lot of things. I'm able to go critique stories about a lot of things. And when I think about it in my head, one thing that I still have a gift of to do is to actually take those thoughts out of my head and say something about it, which is a different picture when you're in the grave. You can't say a word. You can't say anything. Where even if you think of a big idea, we will never hear about it. Then I said, no, man. So what does this mean? It means if air is still coming out of my lungs, if I'm still breathing right now, it means I can live on my purpose. I can think of something and achieve whatever I put my mind on, because I'm still alive. I still have a future to build. I still have a story to write because I'm alive. When I'm dead, it's all becomes stories. The reason why I mentioned AKA is because no matter what, he might be gone, the person, but his story keeps living. People keeps talking about what he did. The Martin Luther King, the reason we know of these people who died a long time ago, it's because they have marked a scar in each and every individual's heart. They have written something that people would talk about in time to come, which is something that is different from you out there. You don't see your purpose. You don't look at yourself in the mirror and see your self-worth. But I'm here to challenge you on that. I'm here to tell you that if God is still putting life inside your body, if there's still air that is getting there, God is saying He's not done with you. He wants you to speak. If you can write, write. If you can draw, draw. If you can speak, speak. If you can sing, sing. Because that's one of the reasons you're still living. He has something within you that He wants you to take out to the world. Because Denzel Washington said something that will always live with me. At your deathbed, if the talents that God put in you, the talent to sing, the talent to write, the talent to do all those things comes to you at your deathbed and ask you, we came to you, but you never took us out there, what would you say? What exactly would you say? Because they came to you. The parable of the talents that was mentioned in the Bible, the gifts, the parable of the gifts in the Bible, it was meant to open your eyes that God gives something to you, either 3 gifts or 1. It's up to you to produce that, because that will give birth to other talents. Wake up, because your purpose is right now. Yesterday I was in a place where we learned about the importance of time at church. The man of God was talking about how it is still our time to run because we still have the energy. At the age of 50, we cannot do it. But you cannot do it without a purpose. That's the problem. Because the Bible itself says that the first commandment that God gave a man was be fruitful and multiply. But you can never be fruitful if you have not yet allowed the seed to grow. And when the seed is taken out, it's able to produce what we call. So do something. Do something. Do something so that we talk about you, so that we see you, so that we know of what you are capable of doing. Yesterday, I spent a long time trying to get a confirmation from a man of God, hoping that he sees that I have a talent, hoping that he confirms it spiritually that I am carrying a talent. But I know I have something within. I'm talking to you right now as part of my gift. I know that if this keeps happening, it will curve a story that people will keep talking about. In time that will come and keep going. Do something. Because if you don't, what was the purpose of living? I'm telling you, the person who's sleeping on the streets right now, who's still breathing, has more to achieve in this world than the person who's in the graveyard. Open your eyes. Think about it. You know yourself. What exactly is within you that you can take out to the world and the world may appreciate? I say a lot of things myself, but I need this to hold on to you. Do something, because time is not on your side. And find your purpose now. I hope you learned something from this. Click the like button if you're watching from TikTok, even Facebook, and follow for more or subscribe. There's more that is coming on this channel, because this is my time. I'm gonna make sure that I achieve what my purpose is meant to achieve, because I know I'm living under the purpose of speaking life to the dead vessels that are still living on this earth. So I'm gonna keep doing this because I believe that this represents me. What are you going to do, you yourself? I hope you learned something.